What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to an episode of Film Stock Reviews. In this episode, I'm reviewing No Time to Die. Now, No Time to Die is the 25th James Bond movie in the franchise and the 5th and final outing for Daniel Craig as James Bond. Now, this is directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga, the first American director to direct a James Bond movie. And from the start, James Bond, who has left his service with MI6, is recruited by the CIA to look for a missing scientist. While that's happening, he comes face to face with an adversary that he didn't know he would be coming face to face with. Now, from the start, this movie is really good. The Italy setting is really good. It's action, it's in your face, and then right after that, it's the Cuba setting, which in Cuba they, have to look for the scientist. It's really action-packed. Here's where things take a turn. The movie is very slow going. It's very drawn out. The movie is close to 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it's just a slow burn at that. The action scenes are really good and different than what you usually see in a James Bond movie, but it feels like this whole story is very heartfelt and one big outing for Daniel Craig as James Bond. Daniel Craig as James Bond from 2006 to now has made 5 movies in 15 years, and it's really good. He is that rugged James Bond that everybody loves, that we've known to know, and it's interesting to see what will happen now and who will reprise that role of James Bond. The ending is quite sudden, I want to say. I didn't expect the ending or how they would send off James Bond, but it was very shocking. This is probably the first time in any James Bond movie that they did this to him in this movie, and it's really interesting to see how things plan out, especially the underlining characters are very good. But the thing also that got me was that in any James Bond movie, it's the villain that always makes the movie. And Rami Malek as Safin wasn't as menacing as you thought he would be or anything like that. Of course, it's a callback to the Dr. No movie that we've seen with Sean Connery, which was his first. The way Safin is, dressed, the way he does things at a missile silo. Everything is so, called back to all those 24 previous James Bond movies. And while you think Safin is the big villain, which he is, and people say like he's one of the most ruthless villains that James Bond's ever seen, there's pretty much more ruthless villains out there that he's faced in the previous 24 movies that James Bond's character is in. And with that, in this movie, the big reveal and secret is that this bioweapon, this Heracles, weapon that is funded or done by the government of MI6 and seen through M and this scientist. It's interesting because you don't think M would go through certain aspects and ways to get what he wants, but it was tended for certain things, and how the DNA sequence works, how it's initiated as a biological weapon, which is really interesting. And I also want to point out that the other underlining factor of this story was the other 007 agent that was in this. Lashana Lynch was good but not great. I felt like her character was boring at times. She didn't fit the mold for anything that was just there. They just needed a character to take on the 007 name, while Daniel Craig's 007 semi-retired in this movie. But other than that, they could have moved forward with it and not actually added her character at all. Other than that, the movie was good but not great. I would say for me, No Time to Die gets 3 out of 5 stars. I love the action, I loved the storytelling, and I liked how they send off James Bond at the end of this movie. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about No Time to Die. Did you see it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And what did you think of it? And what did you think about Daniel Craig's 5th movie as James Bond, or for all the movies that he's been in as James Bond? For me personally, I have to say that Skyfall is my #1 favorite of his movies. Other than that, the least favorite I want to say is Quantum of Solace. And other than that, I mean, he's done a great job as James Bond, and to see him, in this role was really good. And I'm curious to see what they do next with this character, who gets cast as James Bond now, where the story goes, what new villains, what new actors will play the villains. I mean, hey, anything's possible now that, Daniel Craig, in his 5th and final outing as James Bond, has been done and it's finished. And even to see who they pick as director for, you know, the next James Bond movie, because it was slated that Danny Boyle was supposed to direct this movie, but then he backed out, and Cary Joji Fukunaga stepped in and directed it. I'm pretty sure he'll be picked again to direct another James Bond movie. Let's see Christopher Nolan direct one. I mean, Quentin Tarantino, hey, who knows? Maybe even Denis Villeneuve, who's directed amazing sci-fi movies, have him direct a James Bond movie. Let's see him do that. I really, really want to see that. And maybe get back, you know, get back Roger Deakins, you know, for a James Bond movie doing the cinematography work, because, whew, man, Roger Deakins in a James Bond movie and doing the cinematography is always really, really good. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this movie, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.